This has been a long time coming. A lot of these are book deals that I couldn't help but participate in. So we know that the month of May was huge for book deals. I can tell you right now that these two right here were pre-orders. A lot of the big chunk of this right here was from Target Circle Week. And then Target also had buy one, get one half off. So I did that. And there's a Walmart bag here from a few books that I got. Amazon had their own, where is it? These two. Amazon had their own deal also in May, or no, excuse me, this was in April actually. The Amazon's deal I think was in April. Maybe Target Circle Week was in April too. I don't remember. This month has really gone by pretty fast. But anyways, Amazon had the buy or get 3 for the price of 2. I can literally never say that. And these fun little books are what I got when I was on vacation. So you know what? I'm just kidding. I think I got most of these in April. I just know that these have been accumulating from April to May, and it is just about time that we open these darn books. Okay, so what we're gonna start with are the books that I got when I went to California. We were in Santa Cruz, that's where we were for most of the time, and they had a book shop called Bookshop Santa Cruz, so obviously I went. It was one of the best bookshops that I've ever been to. It was so big, they had so many new books and so many used books. It was awesome. So obviously the used books were at a discounted price, and they actually had some pretty good ones. I mean, I didn't get any because I already had the ones that were used. But they had like the Love Hypothesis in there. They had Love on the Brain. They had some pretty good finds. I know they had the 7 Wives of Evelyn Hugo. So they had some like actually pretty good stuff in their used book pile. Like if I were interested in getting any of them, I definitely would have. But they had just so many different like sections. So like one of the sections were like nonfiction hardback, and then nonfiction paperback, and then they had fiction and fiction paperback. Obviously the place where I spent the most time was romance and young adult, as that's the place where I spend the most time in any bookstore that I go to. They had such support for indie authors, like it was insane. They actually had a whole big shelf just for indie authors. I mean, I got one because I was like really surprised that they had it. And I was like, I can't pass up this opportunity. It's been on my TBR for freaking ever. But yeah, the indie author support was insane. I absolutely loved it. So if you're in the area, if you visit California, if you go to Santa Cruz and you're a book lover, please make sure you go to Bookshop Santa Cruz because it was one of the best experiences that I've ever had. The first book that I got is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. This is the newly covered version of that book because it got picked up by Avon Books. I'm really excited to read it. I actually just finished reading The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata, and I loved it. It was my first actual slow burn, but I was eating it up. I mean, it took them forever to like get together, and like I was like giggling when they were holding hands because it had been so long. But like it was really well written, and for my first slow burn, it wasn't as slow maybe as I thought it was gonna be. And I think mostly because, let me not get into it because that'll be a book review, but I'm super excited. I'm super excited to read this book. I've heard great things. Honestly, I've heard nothing but great things from Mariana Zapata books. So I'm slowly collecting all of them. And I actually really do like these new covers. I think they're really vibrant and really pretty. So yeah, super excited to read this one. And then the last book that I got at Bookshop Santa Cruz is Satan's Affair by H.D. Carlton. I was so surprised that they had this book. They had Hunting and Haunting Eveline, and then I saw this little spine next to it, and I was like, wait, what is this? I pull it out, and it's Satan's Affair. I have never been to a bookstore that has sold this book in person. I've only ever seen it online on Amazon. So I immediately had to get it because I was like, I need to have this, and it's been on my TBR list forever. So I was so excited that they had it. And I'm also slowly reading all of H.D. Carlton's books. I know I needed to read this one because I'm pretty sure she's writing another book for Civvy soon. And I don't have Where's Molly yet, so I'm super excited to read this book. Okay, the next little haul that I'm going to do is from the books that I got from Walmart. So I don't normally get my books at Walmart. There have been books though at Walmart that they haven't had at Target. Not sure why, my Target is slacking. I normally prefer to get my books at Target because they price match with Amazon, and normally Amazon's prices are a little cheaper. But I got these books at Walmart because they still weren't that bad. Price-wise, I mean, I don't think anything will be as bad as Barnes & Noble. The first book that I got, actually I'm really excited about this, but I got Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I have heard nothing but good things about this book and the other book that's in this series. After reading Elsie Silver's Chestnut Spring series, I've been all over the cowboy situation. Also, can we take a minute and admire this cover? It is gorgeous. This is like definitely one of the most gorgeous book covers that I own. She is stunning. I love the character art on this. It really is cowboy vibes. Like, they absolutely captured this cover image. I love it. And the next book that I got, I have also been seeing absolutely everywhere, and I was like, it's about time that I get this book. I got Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I'm so excited to read this. I've, again, heard nothing but great things about this book, and this is definitely dark romance, dark romance, serial killer. But the thing with this book is that they're both serial killers. It's normally just one. So I am so excited to read. I don't know why I was smiling so hard about that. Why am I smiling so hard? I am so excited to read this book though, and I do know, is it a duet? Maybe it's not a duet, but there is another book that's coming out, or it might be out already, I'm not sure. That kind of goes along with this series. At least it has like a similar kind of cover. So I'm pretty excited to read that one too, but I have really high hopes for this book, so I hope it does not disappoint. So the next chunk of books we're going to unhaul is all the books, the mini books that I got from Target. So this first book I actually got from the Target that was in California, in the area where I was. And I got it because I wanted to get it off Amazon, but I don't know, I just didn't. And then they had it at the Target, so I was like, I might as well, I'm on vacation, like I'm gonna spend money. Anyway, so I'm just gonna get this book. I got The Highest Bidder, or it's just Highest Bidder, by Sarah Kate, which is her last book in the Delicious Players Club. I have the first book praised, and I absolutely loved it. And I read the description for the other 3 books in the Delicious Players Club. Those books didn't really pique my interest that much, so I don't think that I'm gonna get them, and they're all standalone, so they're not like connected at all, which is great. Well, not that they're not connected at all, but they're all standalones. They're interconnected standalones. But I was most interested in reading the last book, which is this one, and the Delicious Players Club, because it just sounded the most interesting to me, and I really did like praise, so I think that I'm really gonna like this book, and I do like her writing. So I've been waiting for this book to come out. So when it's finally out, I had to get it, and it's now a California buy, so it just makes it that much better. This cover is also gorgeous. I'm in love with this ombre pink to orange going on, and the Paris Eiffel Tower, like, it's really, really pretty. All these covers have just been absolutely gorgeous. I am a sucker for a good book cover. But I am so excited to read this book. This is actually one of my most anticipated reads. I've been waiting for this book since last year. Okay, the next book that I got at Target, and these are in no particular order because this one literally just came out. Again, another super anticipated book, but anything written by this author is a super anticipated book for me. So I picked up a few days ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, a week ago, King of Sloth by Anna Huang. Anything written by this lady, I will read, okay? I'm actually waiting for the release of her very first series, the If Love series. I'm waiting for the re-release of that so I can buy them. I am so stoked. I have every single TikTok, every single review I've read, I've saw, nothing but great things. A lot of people have been saying that this is by far their favorite book in the series. This is a slow burn. She is thick, she is heavy, she is gorgeous, and I cannot wait to read this. I cannot wait to read. about Xavier and Sloane. I think that they are probably one of my most anticipated couples. So I'm super excited to dive into this. When will I get to it? Who knows? So the next chunk of books that I got from Target was the Target Circle Week, where they had buy or get 3 for the price of 2. And I couldn't just do it once. I had to do it twice. So I got 6 books. I have no regrets. If there's a book sale, I'm going to participate every single time. It doesn't matter. So the first book that I got from Target for the buy 2 for, nope. I say it wrong every single time. Get 3 for the price of 2. I got A Heavy Crown by Sophie Lark. This is the last book, I think, in the series. In the Brutal Birthright series, but I needed the last 2 books, so you guys can probably guess the next book that I'm gonna say that I got. I haven't started the series, but I've been collecting all of them. You guys know that I have a thing about needing the whole series before I start it, because it's a thing. Like, I need to have all of them so that when I'm ready to read, I can read through all of them without having to wait to get the next one. Like, I hate doing that. So yeah, I got Heavy Crown by Sophie Lark. I have nothing but high hopes for the series. I've heard good things, I've heard okay things, I've heard bad things, but I'm a sucker for dark romance, so I don't think I could ever truly hate a dark romance book unless I'm just like too freaked out by the tropes. I think that's the only thing that will ever get me, and I don't think anything about Sophie Lark's tropes have been too much for me. So I think I'm just gonna love everything she writes. The first 2 books that I read from her are over there. The Sinners and Saints series, or duet, I mean, and I liked it. So I'm pretty excited for this Brutal Birthright series. So like I said, you could guess the second book that I got was Broken Vow by Sophie Lark, which is how many books are in this series? 5, 6. So this is the 5th book, and Heavy Crown is the 6th book. So I now have the completed series, so now I can read it, but I'm super excited. This is also, drumroll please, a cowboy dark romance. My 2 favorite things! My 2 favorite things in one book. Look at the cowboy boots. I'm so excited. I'm pretty sure that I'm most excited for this one. This one and the first one. Like, I'm most excited for those. Keeping on trend with Sophie Lark. No. What am I talking about? Staying with the Sophie Lark trend of that I got going on right now, I also picked up Minx by Sophie Lark, which I think is one of her newer books, if not the newest one that she released. This is a billionaire romance. I think it's dark. I don't know. Maybe not, but I will always pick up a billionaire romance. I will never say no to one. I love rich men. What can I say? I love rich men. That's just, sorry, but if it's a billionaire, I'm gonna read it. Like, yeah. So I'm pretty excited just for the fact that it's a billionaire, and I know nothing else about this book. Howell is a self-made man, a billionaire obsessed. That's all I need to know. That's it. Obsessive billionaire. Give it to me right now. That's all I need. So yeah, pretty excited for this one. I did do the deal twice, so I got another set of 3 books. So the 4th book that I got at Target during this day, that I did this all in one day, of course, I got Our Fault by Mercedes Ron. I read the first 2 books, My Fault and Your Fault. Now it's Our Fault, so we're in this together, guys. I also saw the movie My Fault, and me and my friend literally obsessed over it, so that's why I read the books. I know I did it wrong. I saw the movie first, and then I read the book second. I know, sue me. But I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all, because the good thing about the movie and the book was that they were the exact same thing. And we know that, like, a lot of the times when there's a movie and a book, a lot of the stuff in the book gets cut out. I can say that for this series anyway, not a lot of stuff got cut out. There were a few scenes that were in the book that weren't in the movie, but for the most part, it was an exact replica of the book, and I really, really appreciated that. Do I absolutely love this series, and would I die on the hill that is this series? No! I think for me, this really gives After vibes, and I don't think I'll ever hate a a book that gives after vibes, because that was the time. That was the vibe. Like, you don't have to love it to like it, you know? Honestly, I wasn't a fan of the second book, but I need to know what happens. I need to know the ending. So here we are with the third book, the third and final book. So I don't know. I'm excited to read it. And I'm excited for when the movie comes out. The fifth book that I picked up is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Now, in my last video, I talked about how I will never not read a book written by this woman. I don't care if it's a vampire and a werewolf, something that I would not have picked up or read if it was not on Wattpad and I was not in the vampire or werewolf vibe mood, you know? So I picked it up because it's Ali Hazelwood and I'm going to read it if it's written by her. If she's published it, I have it on my shelf. And this is the last book that I needed. Am I excited for it? Maybe. It's been opposite ends of the spectrum. I've heard absolutely great things from people to the point where they're buying special editions of the book. And then I've heard things where people say it's not for them. They don't really like it, but that's okay. I'll decide for myself. I think that the part of the book that I'll like the most is, I'm pretty sure this is an arranged marriage. And that eats every single time. I don't care if it's vampire and werewolf. It could be ghost and human. And if it was an arranged marriage, I'd eat it up. This is her first kind of book like this. So I'm excited to see how she writes it. She's normally, you know, writing about like science romance. So this going this way is, I'm definitely really excited to see how her writing comes through this book. I've heard that it's a kind of a funny book. So I'm looking forward to the laughs. But it's my first kind of this kind of book that will be on my shelf. And so thanks to Ali Hazelwood, because like I said, I'll read anything that woman writes. She could write me a bedtime story and I'd read it. The very last book that I got during this deal is a book that I am actually really excited to read, and I wasn't up until recently when I bought the book, because I'm pretty sure it has been out for a while, but I think it started to, I just started to see like videos about it across like my For You page. And the more that I saw about it, the more interesting. And then I read the back and I was like, oh, this looks good. I got The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, maybe? So this right here is about a woman who moves into her mother's apartment after her mother passes. And living there is a guy from like 7 years ago. So he's 7 years in the past and she's 7 years in the future. But they can like see each other, touch each other, like talk to each other. I'm pretty sure that's like how that goes. I can probably better explain it once I actually read the book. Just that concept to me is really, really interesting. And I am really excited to actually read this. This is like one of those reads that I feel like will be on my everybody must read list because of how great it is and because of the life lessons. I feel like books like this, you always get a good life lesson out of it. So I'm actually really excited to read it. The last two books that I got from Target were from the sale that they just had more recently, which was buy one, get one, 50% off. So obviously I participated and I got two books that I really, really needed to get. So hello, I just finished the Akatar series. So I finished A Court of Silver Flames, I think in early March. So obviously us Sarah J Maas girlies know that after Akatar is Throne of Glass, and I had no Throne of Glass books. I had Crescent City, I didn't have Throne of Glass. I was missing that big chunk. I was missing that piece. So that's what I did. I got the first two books in the Throne of Glass series. So I got Throne of Glass, obviously the first book. Now I know this is very controversial because some people read Assassin's Blade first. I've decided, me and my god sister, because we're buddy reading, we've been buddy reading Sarah J Maas for 2 years now, almost, maybe a year and a half. But we decided to go with the order that Sarah J Maas wrote it and said that it should be read. I know that some people read Assassin's Blade first because I think they say that that has like the most emotional impact, or I don't know if it's the other way around. Maybe they read Assassin's Blade first for insight. I'm not entirely sure, but we decided to go with the version that Sarah J Maas says that you should read it. This will be my first hardcore fantasy series. but I'm looking forward to it. I know that the Throne of Glass is, I feel like, the most preferred. Maybe, I don't know, I've seen it both ways. Like ACOTAR, some people prefer it, or it's like some people's favorite, and then Throne of Glass, some people say is like a whole lot better than ACOTAR. But for me, I don't know, that's gonna be a pretty hard measure because I love me some romance, and that is what ACOTAR is, and that's like found family romance, you know? Fantasy. I know that this one is more fantasy heavy, so I'm a little nervous to get into it. I'm a little intimidated, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with my god sisters. So I'm really excited to continue the Sarah J. Maas universe. Okay, the last group of books that I'm gonna open are my Amazon packages. Let's see what it is. Okay, this one is Taming 7. So, guys, I've heard good things. I've heard bad things. The Boys of Tommen series I hold so close and dearly to my heart. If I were to have a top 5 series list, it'd be on my list. I love this series. I love this family. I am so exponentially scared to read this book for a lot of reasons. First one, Gibbsy and Claire. Love them. Scared of the trauma. There's always trauma in these books. I don't know if I'm prepared for it. I don't know. Reason number 2, I've heard that Claire and Lizzie get into it. I don't want to hate Lizzie. I love Lizzie. I'm scared. Reason number 3. I've also heard that the ending wasn't great. Reason number 4. They only get 1 book. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with 1 book for Gibbsy and Claire? I'm scared of the emotional damage. I'm scared that when I finish it, it's gonna feel unfinished. The water on the cover. I'm not ready. But I will say that I am extremely excited for Gibbsy and Claire's book, Taming 7. This has been another one of my most anticipated releases since last year. And so let's open this package. Ooh, she's thick. So this one is Redeeming 6. And I will say that Joey and Aoife's story is my favorite so far out of the series. I love Johnny and Shannon. But Joey and Aoife, to me, was a lot more heartbreak. With Joey and Aoife, it was a little different. There was a lot of like time in between them not being together. There was them being together, them not being together. And, you know, most of it stemmed from Joey's addiction and kind of his role in his family life. And that, to me, is why their story was a lot more heartbreaking. And having to read certain points of views that happen in Shannon's book through Joey was even more terrible. Like, it was even more heart-wrenching than reading it in Shannon's point of view. So, you know, when you think it can't get any worse, it does. I've only ever rated 2 books 6 stars, and this is one of them. Everything about this book specifically, I was crying, I was laughing, I was sobbing, I was smiling, I was giggling and kicking my feet. But it just, so many emotions in this book. And I'm so happy to have the complete set of the series, the new covers for the series, and the spines that match with the ombre. I think it's so gorgeous, so beautiful. So yeah, I'm super excited to have all the series now. I am going to go back and tab these so that the rest of the series is matched in their tabbing. I love this series so much. I love these books so much. There's not many things that I put above the Boys of Tommen series. Not a lot. This is a series that I hold very, very close to my heart. Yeah, before I get emotional, before I start crying, let's just move on to the next packages. So this package, we're gonna need my trusty scissors to open. So these next 2 packages, these last 2 packages, are me participating in the, let me see if I can get it right the first time. It's me participating in the get 3 for a price of 2 sale on Amazon. I know that April and May is like they're big months for book sales, like for Target and Amazon. And Amazon just had another book sale. Like, I think maybe it's over today or it's over tomorrow, but it lasted like the whole week. Like, they had just had like another book sale. That was like just discounted books. Like, it wasn't like any like buy this many for the price of this many. Like, it wasn't like that. But they had like a lot of like books like on sale for the week. They love us just in the spring. That's the only time. So anyways, one of the books that I got for this sale is a new release that I am so excited about. I got Wild Love by Elsie Silver. It is the first book in the Rose Hill series. She is gorgeous. I have high hopes for her. I love pink books. Elsie Silver is a newly discovered author for me. Like I said, I just like finished reading the Chestnut Spring series, and I fell in love with her and her writing and her characters and her character stories and everything that has to do with them. And I want everything that has to do with her. Like, she is now one of my new Instabuy authors. Like, I love how she writes. I love her characters. And can this series get any better? They're all single dads. Kneel to the queen, that is Elsie Silver. I am also very excited for the reprint of her first series that I am going to buy as they come out, but I don't remember the name of that series, but I'm super excited, and I'm super excited to read this book because I've heard nothing but great things about Ford Grant. So these are the last two books in this long haul video. Let's see what I got. I'm just excited. Okay, so this next book is another Instabuy author for me. I discovered her last year. I have not put a single one of her books down ever. And I have all of her books. So I have all of her. There's only a few authors that I can say I have all of their books and they're an Instabuy author for me. Like, as soon as they release something, I'm buying it. There's very few authors I can say that for. She is one of them. She is one of my top authors. Like, I love everything about her. And that is Miss Abby Jimenez. Guys, she just released Just for the Summer, and I am so excited. This is I think, don't quote me on this because I don't know, but I think this is part of and I use this term very loosely because, very loose, interconnected standalone series with Part of Your World and Yours Truly. I want to say this is the third and last, probably, interconnected standalone. But the characters, I don't remember. Like, I don't remember Emma from, maybe I will when I read the story and I like read her background or whatever, but I don't remember Emma from any of the books. Like, maybe I'm blanking and maybe I just need to go back and flip through and find the name Emma, but I don't remember. But I am very excited for this book. Fake dating. Guys, I'm a sucker for fake dating. Like, just like I'm a sucker for arranged marriages, you can get me with fake dating too. You can get me the same way. I'm gonna read it. I love fake dating. It's so fun and flirty, and like they're always confused, and it's just so funny. This cover is absolutely gorgeous. Just another gorgeous cover in this book haul. I've been doing great. But yeah, I'm super excited to read this book. Like, another anticipated read, and honestly, I didn't even know it was coming out until like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before it released. Yeah, I'm very excited. I love her. I love this book already. I don't even have to read it. I know I'm gonna love it, because one of my favorite things about Abby Jimenez is that her books are so life lesson heavy. Like, that's the reason why I fell in love with them, other than like the amazing writing and the amazing characters. And one of the reasons why I fell in love with her books is because they have every single one has taught me something. I could probably make a video just about what her books have taught me, and I'm super excited to learn lessons from this one. So this next book is a new book, and I'm super excited to have it. I'm super excited to read it. I told myself that I wanted to get it when it was in paperback, but Amazon, well, not when it was in paperback, it's in paperback, but I wanted to buy it in paperback. But Amazon, you know, was doing the sale, and the book was only on sale if I got it in hardback. So guess what I did? I got it in hardback. A lot of my fantasy books are in hardback. I have Fourth Wing in hardback. I have the like A Curse of True Love, like this series right here by Stephanie Garber, I have in hardback. I don't know why. For me, it's okay to have a fantasy series, fantasy books in hardback, but when it comes to romance, why would you do that to yourself? I got Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and I'm so extremely excited to read this book. This is a YA fantasy. This to me is like, if, at least from what I've seen, is like if Fourth Wing had a baby YA without dragons. Have I read Fourth Wing yet? No. This author specifically, I haven't followed her for long, but I've been with her for part of the journey of her publishing and getting picked up by Simon & Schuster. And it's really amazing just to see, like, you know, an indie author, writer who's very passionate about their work go from, you know, being an indie author to being, you know, published by a publishing company. It's always such an exciting process to see, especially because, you know, that's what I hope for myself. So I always love to support authors, and especially indie authors. It's a great thing to do. But I'm really excited to read this book. I've heard absolutely nothing but great things. And she did come out with like a little novella that's powerful. Maybe I think that's what it's called, powerful. Like it's a little bitty book, novella book. But yeah, I'll probably get that after I read this book, but I'm definitely really, really excited. And this cover is absolutely gorgeous. I think that this book haul wins for gorgeous covers. I've not unhauled a single book that was ugly, you know? So definitely judge a book by its cover. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But that, I mean, I do that, but you know, you don't do that. I can do that. I do it. You don't do it. But yeah, anyways, I'm super excited to read this book. So yeah, I'm going to attempt to do this, and I'm recording so that there is documented proof of me doing this. I'm going to try to lift up all these books that I got. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to try. Okay, I'm going to try. Oh, I'm not strong enough for this. Okay. These are all the books that I bought. Oh god, I can't talk through the pain. Oh my god, my arms hurt. Thank you for watching, and I'm never unhauling this many books at one time again. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I'm never doing that again.